10:05 on the East Coast. And yeah. Yeah, the world is kind of going to end. I don't know what's going to happen. Like it's been like I went out for a few hours one night and came back home and we had bombed Iran. So, yeah, like I don't even know where to start. Like it's just been crazy. It's been actually insane because one, just what a ridiculous fucking country we are. Truly, and truly what a blight on this planet we prove to be at every given moment. 250 years of terrorizing the world. Way to go, America. Uh Other than that, hope everyone's having a good time. Hope we're doing all right. Hope your weekend was nice, cozy. Yeah. Well, I mean, the details are just Israel wanted to strike Iran because apparently Iran is once again at like two minutes away from having a nuclear bomb, just like they have been since the 90s. I just it's so silly. It's so silly. It's ridiculous. Look, I had the same frustration when we kidnapped Maduro, when we just everything we do to Cuba. It's just American imperialism at its finest, and she never stops. She never stops. She don't know how to. You know what? In brighter news. Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff that's happened. We killed a lot of schoolgirls, so that's just fucking just great, just great, just truly everything we needed from this world. Brighter news, I guess. These two got married. Love that for them. Love that for them. I'm not jealous. It's fine. It's fine. No, that's great. Killing me, man. You're killing me. Oh my god. All right. That's real. That's real. Yeah, there's just a lot. I actually don't even know because there is nothing else going on other than we bombed Iran. You can't find any other news really. But that's what my timeline has been up until like 20 minutes ago. And it's just like, and now it's just Tom Holland and Zendaya are married, so that's also on my timeline now. Oh, I am mad. Oh, I'm real mad. I'm real mad. I love both of them. I can't lie. totally unfair. This should be illegal. They were both supposed to marry me, actually. Uh, don't know how this got confused. Don't know how this got lost in the mail. Oh yeah, the yeah, I don't know. Isn't that a good marriage? No, they were supposed to marry me. This is illegal. Yeah, there's a bunch of AI shit going on. But I haven't been keeping up too much with it. Again, mostly just seeing a lot of stuff about Iran, which is not surprising. Should be expected at this point. Alrighty. Cut the music. Dead ass. Oh, I've got a bad cough tonight. Now they can use AI for weapons, not actually people, for autonomous weapons and surveillance domestically under. Yeah, I don't know what is that you're talking about? I'll see what I can find on that. Hold on. Hmm. Why is Harrison Ford trending? Oh, did he win something? Okay. That's cool. Oh, there was a clip that yeah, here it is. Hold on. Hold the phone here. Because I have been meaning to talk about this. I did mean to talk about this. And then other things kept happening. But Shia LaBeouf has been in some shit. Shia LaBeouf has been in some shit, and that's not really surprising. Okay, yeah, we can take a look at that. Because I have been meaning to take a look at that a little bit, but again, there's been a lot going on. But yeah, we can take a look at that in a second. But Shia LaBeouf has been in some shit. There was the whole arrested in New Orleans thing. And yeah, I know I saw people were like using like substituting other things for chat gpt, which I thought was like weird because just stop using AI in general. But I don't know. Yeah, he got arrested in New Orleans. And we also have I don't even know, I didn't watch this clip yet, so we're gonna see how out of pocket this is.
Bible, I know what the Bible says about homosexuality.
What does it say?
Nah.
That's what it says.
Yeah.
But wasn't that written a really long time ago?
Bro, you can do whatever you want with the text. It's not my business. You know what I mean? I'm a traditional Catholic. That's okay.
And what's the difference between a traditional Catholic and, let's say, a more progressive Christian?
I really fuck with the Bible. My side is this. My behavior, bullshit.
What the fuck? Like, he's doing a bit, right? He has to be doing a bit. You're okay.
I gotta deal with that. Does that mean I gotta go to rehab again? I'm just not into it, bro. I don't think my answers are there. I don't. I genuinely don't. If I genuinely did, I'd go. I don't think I have a drinking problem. I think I have a different problem, and I'm gonna address it.
What's that problem?
I think I have a small man complex. I know I'm fucking deep off into the Bible. I know what the Bible says
About
homosexual.
Okay. All right, dude. What? What? Uh I love it. I can't even be mad about shit like this anymore because we have actual fascists walking around, you know? Method acting, you mean? I think you mean method acting. I don't think he's method acting. I think he's just he's just, you know, um he's just going through some things. But I can't even be mad about this shit anymore. It's the same with like Jesse Lee Peterson. All I can do is laugh because on the on like the range on the scale of like harmful to harmless, you're pretty harmless. Like you're pretty like a low, not like a low level threat, you know? Like a level 1 boss kind of deal in the White House. Yeah, exactly. There's fascists in the White House and it's just like, okay. Like, yeah, this is crazy. It's ridiculous, but I've also heard it a million times. I've heard it a million times. I will say this part was funny. Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
Sexuality.
what does it say?
This part was funny.
Nah.
That's what it says.
Yeah.
Just nah. Yeah. Dog. Dog. Be so for real right now.
Say
Nah.
that's what it says.
Yeah.
But wasn't that written a really long time ago?
Bro, you can do whatever you want with the text. It's not my business. You know what I mean? I'm a traditional Catholic. That's okay.
What's the difference between a traditional Catholic and, let's say, a more progressive Christian?
I really fuck with the Bible.
I really fuck with the Bible. So enlightening. So deep. I love it. I love it. I love when people find God, when they find Christ, when they find religion and they're just like, "No, I get it. I get it." Gabby Hanna's been doing the same thing. And they act like they're on this new level and it's just like you're just I think you just need some time alone, maybe some medication, some therapy, I don't know. Oh, you can't hear me or I guess if you can't hear me, then you can't answer that question. Or the video. Hmm. Well, now I don't know. Oh, probably the video. I had it turned down really low. Got it. Yep, you're right. You're so right. I always do that. Because I turn down the music and then I forget to turn it back up. Here you go. Yeah. Yeah. I got you.
I know I'm fucking deep off into the Bible. I know what the Bible says.
About
Homosexuality.
what does it say?
Nah.
That's what it says.
Yeah.
But wasn't that written a really long time ago?
Bro, you could do whatever you want with the text. It's not my business. You know what I mean? I'm a traditional Catholic. That's okay.
And what's the difference between a traditional Catholic and, let's say, a more progressive Christian?
I really fuck with the Bible. My side is this. My behavior, bullshit. I gotta deal with that. Does that mean I gotta go to rehab again? I'm just not into it, bro. I don't think my answers are there. I don't. I genuinely don't. If I genuinely did, I'd go. I don't think I have a drinking problem. I think I have a different problem, and I'm gonna address it.
And what's that problem?
I think I have a small man complex. I know I'm fucking deep off into the Bible. I know what the Bible says.
Yeah, okay, there you go. It's just, and then the part where he's like, yeah, he's like, nah, he's like, nah, yeah. It's just very funny to me. He did Transformers. You don't know his movies? I mean, my personal favorite of his movies would probably be Holes. But he's also just a piece of shit. Like, he's actually like an abusive piece of shit, so we don't fuck with him anymore. But
Well, I know what the Bible says
About
homosexuality.
what does it say?
Nah.
That's what it says.
Yeah.
But wasn't that written a really long time ago?
oh man. Fucking hell. What the hell, dude? Is this where we've come? Is this who we are? Yeah, he's definitely yeah, he's gotten into some trouble, very like a lot of trouble recently, or in the past few years. There was the whole thing, hold on. Trying to type with one hand, bro. Ugh. I hate it. I hate it. Yeah, here we go. I think I saw that Transformers movie recently in a waiting room at the doctor. That's crazy. That's crazy. Have you really never seen Transformers? My mom just really liked those movies when I was a kid, so I think I had to watch them a lot. But I mean, they were all right. They're your typical action movies, I guess. I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan. I didn't love them. But yeah, he had a whole lawsuit with his ex, I believe. Yep, filed to end her lawsuit against her ex-boyfriend with prejudice, meaning she cannot refile the claim in the future. The 37-year-old singer sued LaBeouf in 2020 for sexual battery, assault, and infliction of emotional distress, alleging a pattern of relentless abuse. In the suit, and in an interview with the New York Times, Barnett said LaBeouf, whom she dated from 2018 to 2019, after meeting on the set of his semi-autobiographical oh my god, on his semi-autobiographical, oh my god, on his semi-autobiographical, okay, this is gonna kill me. I can say this word, it's just like my brain is like disconnected. uh Not really a whole one. I saw part of one with that short guy. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen like many of them in like a long time, so I can't tell you which one. I really only remember the first one and a little bit of like the second one. where there's like a scene where Megan Fox thinks that, or is that the third one? I don't know. There's a scene where like he goes to college and he's dating Megan Fox, and she shows up, and he's like getting like, there's like this girl who's actually not a girl or whatever, and she's like pretending to be into him, and she walks in on them, and it's a whole thing. And I remember that scene specifically because I was like, damn, if I got caught by Megan Fox like cheating and she thought I was cheating on her, I would just kill myself in the video game. FKA Twigs, that's his ex. I'm not super familiar with her, but they dated for a while, it seems. After meeting on the set of his autobiographical film Honey Boy. Got it. Nailed it. Let's go. All right. Knowingly exposed her to a sexually transmitted infection, that's fucked up. Attempted to strangle her and slammed her against a car. He denied all allegations of wrongdoing. They released a joint statement committed to forging a constructive path forward. We have agreed to settle our case out of court. While the details of the settlement will remain private, we wish each other personal happiness, professional success, and peace in the future. Yeah, so dragged on for years, that kind of thing. He would never do that. He's a Christian. He's a Christian. He can only have sex with human women. Yeah. So, yep. Yep. At the time, Barnett's lawyer responded, while my client was led to believe that LaBeouf was on a path of taking responsibility and working a program, it is clear he intends his pattern of continuing to abuse the victim. I don't know why he has an autobiographical film, to be honest with you. I wonder. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess. I don't know, dude. I don't think he's that interesting. He's had a few interesting movies. Again, my personal favorite is Holes, but not necessarily because of him. I just think it's a good movie, perhaps in spite of him, if we're being honest. Holes is such a good movie. I need to rewatch Holes, man. One time, my friends and I had a Holes party where we watched Holes. We just got together and watched Holes. One of them brought a cake. Another friend brought a shovel. It was a whole thing. Yeah. Before the court case, LaBeouf responded to the two women's stories. I'm not in any position to tell anyone how my behavior made them feel. He said in an email, I'm not in any position to tell anyone how my behavior made them feel is crazy. That's crazy. Okay. All right. Yeah, so oh my god. Yep. Anyway, that's Shia LaBeouf. That's what he's doing. Holes? Um it's I'll just you've never heard of Holes? I think it's based on a book. It's just I have a quote from it that's just burned into my head for like all eternity, and it's just oh, what is it? It's you and your children's children will search for 100 years and you will never find it. And it's just I don't know why I have that so burned into my head for like eternity. But hold on. Holes here. I'm just gonna look up the just read you a quick little synopsis because I'm bad at explaining movies. All right. Uh So, this was his theatrical film debut. That's crazy. I don't think he's done a better movie since then, to be honest with you. Like, I think he peaked here. It's also got fucking John Voight in it, which is insane. Like, fuck him. Fuck that man. But also, uh, he does a good job in this movie, I guess. So, the Stanley Ilnats, which is always funny to me because his last name is just fucking Stanley. It's just Stanley backwards. Stanley Ilnats the fourth, which is Shia LaBeouf, is sent to Camp Green Lake, a juvenile detention camp in Texas, after being wrongfully convicted of theft. The camp forces inmates to dig holes in a dry lake bed under the command of the cruel warden, Walker, who is secretly searching for the buried treasure of the outlaw Catherine Kate Barlow. And, yeah. That's fair. I mean, like, listen, I'm hyping the movie up. It's not that good. It's actually, it's just a nostalgia thing. It's not that good of a movie. uh like full honesty, I probably would, if I'm being like objective, I'd probably give it like a 3.5 on Letterboxd. It's not like the best movie out there. I just love it because of nostalgia. um yeah, I don't know, I just I do love it. But she has him like digging holes because she's trying to find the treasure that looks like buried out there. And then in the end, well, I won't spoil it, but that's like the reason that they get sent to the camp, and that's why they're digging holes in the desert, is to find a treasure for. But they don't know that. They don't know they're digging holes to find a treasure. But that's the purpose of the camp. It's very silly. It's a very silly movie. There's also all these like venomous like lizards out there, and they have to worry about getting bit, and like they have to worry about getting bit. It's like a whole thing. So I don't know. Fun little movie. I haven't watched it in a while. Personally, I enjoy it. Definitely recommend if you're ever looking for something a little silly or stupid to get through the night. You can totally spoil it. I mean, it's just in the end, it ends up that the treasure belongs to Stanley's family. It's got like his family name on on like the treasure chest that they find. Because they do end up finding it. I don't remember exactly how they end up finding it, but and then there's this other kid. There's this other kid Zero who Stanley befriends, and he's like got like a whole thing, and he ends up. Because there's like a whole. That's right. I remember now. It's coming back to me. There's like a whole. There's a whole plot about Stanley's family being cursed because they like pissed off some woman. I don't remember the exact details. And then the curse ends up being broken because Zero, who is descendant from the woman who cursed Stanley's family, ends up they like I think Stanley ends up like carrying him like to like a certain place to like get like water or something because they're in the desert and they end up like running away from camp. It's a whole thing. uh and so that ends up breaking the curse, and then they become friends and they like share the money. It's like it's a whole there's a little cute little ending. Uh yeah. It's just like, there's like a whole the camp director gets like arrested, I'm pretty sure. It's just like a big old thing. Big old thing. And then both families are like rich forever. It's like, yay. We win. We're the winners. Yeah. I don't know. Silly movie. Fun movie though. Maybe I'll watch it tonight. It's been a while. All right, that was a nice diversion from more serious things, but perhaps we should get back to other topics that I was maybe going to cover. Uno momento here. wait, wait. I'm sorry. I found another Shia LaBeouf clip. I do kind of think we need to watch the full thing. Hold on.
Does that happen a lot?
Hold the phone.
But I'll be honest with you, big gay people are scary to me.
What do you mean?
When I'm like standing by myself and 3 gay dudes are next to me touching my leg, I get scared.
Mm-hmm.
How often does that happen to you? Hello? Excuse me? wait, wait. Run that back for me one more time, my friend.
Scary to me.
What do you mean?
When I'm like standing by myself and 3 gay dudes are next to me touching my leg, I get scared.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Can't wait to see where this goes.
I'm sorry. If that's homophobic, then I'm that.
Yeah. Does that happen a lot?
No, it just happened one time.
Hey, my yeah, I don't even think in LA that that's something that happens to you on the regular. You said it only happened one time. Oh my god. Oh my god. Like, sorry that happened to you, but I don't think that means you gotta be homophobic. Oh my god. Like, it's not, like, it's not homophobic for you to be uncomfortable when people are touching you without your consent. It's only homophobic if you're uncomfortable because, like, they're gay. Then it's homophobic. But if you're just uncomfortable because you did not consent, like, yeah, I mean, that's not homophobic. That's just like a normal reaction to that situation. I don't know why he's making it homophobic by by turning around and saying if that makes me homophobic. It's like, well, it didn't, but now it might. Is it because they're gay? Like, would you be fine with it otherwise? I mean, perhaps. I don't know the actual demographic breakdowns. I imagine it's like the same for any large city specifically. Uh for any like big city like that. I don't know if it's like I don't know if it's like significantly more than New York, you know? Like LA has you know, like woke a woke like reputation or whatever, but uh it's like I wearing sneakers with. Oh yeah, I think he is. Also, his suit is not very Like, this looks pretty baggy on him. I don't know if that's supposed to look like that. I'm not a suit expert myself, but not sure it's supposed to look like that.
Recently.
Well, that's why got arrested.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you were sort of being groped and surrounded.
I'm not gonna say that because my lawyer said, "Oh, dude,
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We can
no,
back up.
I am wrong for touching anyone ever, and that's the end of my statement on this whole
Gotcha.
shit."
Sounds good.
Cool.
Moving back to like what kind of things.
Like, I mean, yeah, again, if you're just uncomfortable with them touching you because you do not consent to being touched, that's fine. That's a normal reaction. What is happening? Yeah, I mean, it's not so much because they're woke. It's more so because, I mean, they're woke because they're big, diverse cities, you know? They have a lot of diverse demographics living there, so they're just woke by nature. Like, places with, you know, diversity are going to be more, you know, quote unquote woke, if that's what you want to call it. I don't know. I'm not familiar with this man at all. Other than I think he's also kind of a piece of shit.
Would set off that Napoleon complex.
Being challenged, my masculinity being challenged, somebody touch my girl, or touch my kid, or, you know, I'm good with gay. Be gay over there, though. Don't be gay in my lap.
What does that have to do? Wait, like if they're touching your girl, I assume they're not gay. Like, what are we doing? How are we involved? How did gay people get involved? Like, yes, if someone is touching, again, if someone is touching anybody without consent, that is one thing. Like I'm not like that's a whole other topic. Why does he keep mentioning gay people? He's got gay people on the brain, bro. Like he can't stop thinking about the gays.
So you feel like when things that you feel that you possess in a way are challenged, like your girl, your kid, if someone gets in the way of what they want to
Yeah,
do.
if somebody, there's personal space type stuff, you know, which gets weird it's Mardi Gras. That's why, bro. I was drunk and it's Mardi Gras. So everything I'm saying is nonsense. It's Mardi Gras, you know.
But it sounds like this
It's Mardi Gras. It's Mardi Gras. It's Mardi Gras. Yeah, I've seen him a little bit, but I'm not like super familiar with him.
complex is maybe something that you noticed for a long time.
I mean, maybe, bro. I mean, my dad was by his cousin, so he was in my ear all the time. I don't know. Maybe I am. Who the knows, bro? I'm open to whatever somebody wants to say. It didn't feel like that when it happened. Look, and this is the worst thing to say, and I'm not gonna say it. I never had no problem with gay people. Never. I remember paying for people's like transition surgery when I was fucking around the internet heavy. I've never been adversarial towards it. You know what I mean?
Oh my god. Okay, all right. You know, keep going. No, keep it going. Keep it going. We're doing great. You're doing great.
Yeah, you don't seem like a homophobic guy.
No, but I don't know. I'm open to whatever. If somebody's got more information on the subject, then let me know. I know I'm deep off into the Bible. I know what the Bible says
About
homosexuality.
what does it say?
Nah.
That's what it says.
Yeah.
But wasn't that written a really long time ago?
Bro, you could do whatever you want with the text.
It doesn't even say that. It doesn't even say that. You can do whatever you want with the text. Like you're doing whatever you want with the text.
It's not my business. You know what I mean? I'm a traditional Catholic. That's okay.
And what's the difference between a traditional Catholic and, let's say, a more progressive Christian?
I really with the Bible.
All right. So that's what Shia LaBeouf has been up to. I got nothing. What can I say? Respectfully, maybe we should turn the cameras off. just turn the cameras off. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh my god, dude. That's crazy. All right. Alrighty. Uh Hold on here. Oh man, there's so much going on, dude. There's so much. There's too much. Okay. Um okay. Oh, Christy Nome is gonna be testifying in the Judiciary Committee tomorrow. That's crazy. That sounds very fun, actually. God, is it gonna be as good as Pam Bondi? I don't know. We'll see. Let's see if she can top that performance. Let me get the playlist up here, and we are a couple of things I wanted to take a look at. So, obviously, we have a lot of stuff going on, specifically with Iran, because we are just the worst. We are the worst. We suck, and specifically, we suck real hard because God fucking damn it, I we got like 2 more years, 3 more years, really 3 more years. We're barely in the year 2. We're barely in the year 2. It's not looking great. I don't know. I don't know what to say. But we can get back into the Candace stuff here in a minute. I did want to take a look at this video real quick. Because interesting things happen when we decide we're going to strike Iran. Like the Strait of Hormuz. And this is a channel called What's Going On with Shipping. I really like this guy. He just like covers shipping stuff around the world. Yeah. Yeah, I know last year I googled it thinking it was his last year. Yeah, no, we're screwed. We got like 2.5 years left. So, and then we'll get into the Candace stuff because oh boy, we've still got like 2 more episodes of that to go.
On this, the March 1st, 2026 edition of What's Going On with Shipping, is the Strait of Hormuz open or closed? I'm your host, Sal Mercogliano. Welcome to today's episode. If you're new to the channel, let me introduce myself. I'm a former merchant mariner turned academic. I hold degrees in maritime history, but I also do maritime policy and maritime security. So this is a complex question. It is not a very clear-cut answer I'm going to give you, but I want you to understand what is happening right now in the Strait of Hormuz. This channel does not talk about politics, doesn't talk about whether or not the U.S. should be striking along with Israel, Iran. We're not talking about that. We're talking about global shipping and commerce, in particularly the flow of oil in and out of the Strait of Hormuz. So to do that, we're going to go over to marine traffic. Anyone who wants to follow this, go load marine traffic on your phone. Pull it up on your computer. It is the best app, in my opinion, to track ocean shipping around the world. This is the Strait of Hormuz right now, and in particularly, this area here is the Strait. Up here in the north, this is Iran. Iran is all along this coast here, this northern coast. And then down here, you have the southern tip here. This is Oman. And then over here is the United Arab Emirates. And you'll notice that the strait is pretty denuded of shipping right now. Green dots represent freighters, red represent tankers. Normally, you would see a big flow going through here. That would give you the indication that the Strait of Hormuz is closed. But to me, closed means it's not open for business. A door is barred. You can't go through if you want to. That's not the case here. Ships have checked up on each side of the strait. You'll notice these large red dots here, this big, huge, massive anchorage just south of the Strait of Hormuz.
Because I know there was a lot of talk about whether or not they were going to close the Strait of Hormuz. There was like a lot of talk about that. And obviously that's a that's a pretty big deal as far as, you know, as far as like oil and as far as like just in general. Yeah, like I hate us. I hate us so fucking much, dude. There's like every single day it's like a new thing. Every single day there's a new awful thing that Donald Trump has done to make the world worse, and I have to live with that. And I'm going a little crazy. I'm kind of losing my mind here. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. And they're so awful too. They were like lying about shit. It's just as usual. I mean, that's nothing new. And they just have like the worst posts online, the cringiest posts from the various different state departments, and we have the worst, we have like the cringiest version of fascism. And it's like, it's so lame. It's so lame. Like I didn't know that fascism could be this fucking cringe.
Another one here off Fujairah, and then another one here in the UAE. Those anchorages are always there. Be clear, you go back in time and go look at this. They're always there. Ships are always kind of waiting to go into loading ports in and around the Persian Gulf and this region. What is happening right now is the ocean carriers, those who operate ships, largely tankers, but there's also other commercial ships that go in and out of here, have decided to basically sit back and wait a minute and let's see what happens between the U.S., Israel, and Iran. The other issue here, and the important one to understand, is war risk insurance. So everything in shipping is geared to insurance. I can't say this enough.
I mean, look, I'm not, I go back and forth. I try not to be completely cynical because I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give up. But I am very displeased, very frustrated, and very desperate for a change. We'll say that. We'll say that. And I'm not looking forward to the fact that I'm going to have to deal with us getting a new governor soon. That's going to be a headache. I'm just, yeah, I don't know. Nope, not looking forward. Not having a good time. Not thriving. We are not thriving. Ugh. Like we deserve the worst. We deserve the worst. We deserve whatever we have coming to us, truly. And at the end of the day, while I do think that, a lot of people are just trying to get by, there's also just a sense of we are culpable to a degree. There is no like, writing that off. We are playing our part, as unwillingly as that may be.
Money is what makes this industry go around. And without insurance, ships are not going to take the risk. Shipping is all about minimizing your risk. And right now, if a ship sails through the Straits of Hormuz and gets hit by a missile, a drone, or something like that, you need war risk. War risk does not cover, basically, if you get hit by a missile or drone, you are not covered if you just have your standard, what's called P&I, protection and indemnity insurance, which covers the cargo, or your...
That's awesome. That's fucking awesome. You need fucking insurance to cover whether or not if you get fucking hit by a missile. What the fuck is this goddamn world, dude? Like, your standard fucking insurance doesn't cover that? You have to pay extra? Are you fucking kidding me? God damn it, bro. We can't have anything. That's so fucking funny. What the hell? Like, your insurance doesn't cover that? Your insurance is expensive as hell. I know it is for a fucking cargo ship. You're telling me it doesn't just cover, like, oh, if I get hit by a fucking missile because I like, you gotta pay extra? Okay.
H&M hull and machinery, which covers the ship. You need what's called AP, additional protection. Sorry for all the acronyms. It's just the way industries are. You need additional protection.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that there are people who care. There's few and far between. And I mean, the deck is stacked against us. I think it's just the deck. I think the reality is the deck is stacked against us when it comes to electoral politics. And as unpleasant as it is to admit, there is a sort of game playing that we have to do in order to make progress to a degree. I don't think that you should compromise necessarily on, major issues or major morals and that kind of thing, but there is just kind of like a yeah, I did see the Paramount bid stuff. That's fucking people are kind of stupid. There were a lot of people who were like, "Oh, what's the problem with this?" It's like even if you don't have like a political interest in this topic, it's just monopolies are bad. That's just the case. Monopolies are bad. But yeah, I don't know. Just it sucks. It sucks, but like there is a degree to which I do still say that you should, participate to the best of your ability in voting and that kind of thing. Obviously, don't vote for people who truly compromise your morals or that kind of thing. Like, I don't like, if you don't want to vote because of the genocide, then don't do that. Like, I'm not someone who's gonna tell you that you have to vote for someone. Like if you're someone who's like, I don't want to vote for, if you were someone who was like, I don't want to vote for Kamala or whatever, I'm not gonna be like, you have to do it or you should do it. Yeah, I think that if anything, the case is that we do need new people in Congress. In my humble opinion, a lot of these people need to go, and I do think there are people who are able to take their place that can do things that are, not shitty. It's just a matter of actually getting those people into Congress. And like I said, the deck is stacked against us. There's a lot of money involved. There's a lot of shit. I'm not saying it's not, you know, like there's a reason this shit takes a long time, unfortunately. And I think that the problem is a lot of people feel like we don't have a lot of time. And I am one of those people who tends to agree with that statement, that we are sort of running out of time when it comes to being able to deal with certain issues and stop certain atrocities from occurring. I think that a lot of these people have proven that they don't really care too much about the pressure being put on them, and ultimately they need to be taken out of office. That's really how I feel about it, I guess. But in that same regard, I do think that there is a level of grace we have to be willing to give to people, because it's going to be hard to get that many people who fit like a specific niche idea of what a good politician is, or what we think a good politician is. So some compromises are going to have to be made. There are some things that are going to have to be like relented on, but I don't think one of those things should be like, I don't know, trans rights. Like that's not one of the things we should be compromising on. So it's just like one of those things, I guess. Like there are certain issues we can compromise on. There's just certain issues we cannot.
Well, with the strikes by the U.S. and Israel against Iran, all the insurers have said you need more insurance to sail through this, and so shipping firms are waiting. Either they won't pay the additional insurance and they're waiting for everything to subside, or they're going to have to pay the insurance to go through. No matter what, to see those little red dots start flowing back through here again, they will have to make a choice, either to get the insurance or take the risk. Understand, 20% of global oil comes out of this strait. And without those ships moving, large economies, particularly in East Asia, China, Japan, Korea, Taiwan, Vietnam, are going to run out of gas, and that's going to be a major problem. All right, let's go ahead and break down this for you in a little bit more detail. I want to give you that big, huge overview, but now let's look at the specific stories that have been transpiring over the past day or so. I did an update yesterday on this. You can catch that for all the bigger background issues.
All right, I did just want to take a little look at that. Let's get to Candace. I'm skipping the comments at the end of episode 1. I don't really care. We're gonna get to episode 2.
All right, you guys. Now,
Bride of Charlie, Dr. Jerry, and Mrs. Hyde. Episode 2. You know what? A little bit of a fit check for Candace here. I don't hate it. It's a little funky, but I kind of dig it. Yeah, I don't know. I can't tell what is even on here. Is it like it's like that looks like a duck. That looks like I don't even know what that is. Is that a snake? Like I don't know what these are, but I kind of dig it. It's funky. I like it. Weird. All right, Candace.
I know a lot of American grandparents woke up a little bit confused this morning, wondering why their grandchildren are suddenly referring to them as far, far and more far. I'm proud of us. We classed up, America. We're taking that. We're taking that from Sweden. This series is...
Oh, God. Is that a thing that we're doing now? Candace, is that what we're doing? All right. I am going to bump this up to 1.25. Is it really 2 for some reason? I thought it was 3. For what? She has uploaded 3 episodes, if that's what you're talking about. We're just on episode 2. We only made it through 1 episode. Yeah.
Maybe dedicated to all the far fars and more fars out there. I was actually speaking to one of Erika's exes, and he told me a pretty interesting story. I thought it was very interesting, aside from off.
Like, I'm sorry. I just can't imagine being someone and having a person go back through your, like, life and stuff and talk to your exes. Like, I just don't know, man. That seems like it's just kind of crazy. No, yeah, we only got through 1 last time, unfortunately. We have 2 more hours of this to go.
Bring the standard. I do not recognize who this human is at all anymore. I don't recognize the person that she is pretending to be. She's very different when we dated. Everyone says that across the board when you ask them about the relationships with Erika. But he did tell me another interesting little tidbit, a little anecdote. One morning, he would often, I guess, speak to Erika about how close he was with his grandfather. His grandfather had already passed. He's dating Erika, and she's getting to know him and his life and the things that matter to him. And he says that one morning, Erika wakes up, and she tells him that his grandfather, who has passed and who he adored, came to her in a dream with a message. He just thought that was quite odd. I thought that was an interesting story. It tells us a little bit about Erika because that is a psychology of sorts. It kind of reminds me of when Meghan Markle would spray Diana's perfume.
Candace. Candace, you have literally said that Charlie Kirk came to you in a dream and told you he was betrayed. Why can't Erika have the same thing happen to her? Candace, you have said that on camera. What is the okay. No, okay. Listen, I said I told myself today that I was going to come in and I was going to be less hostile towards Candace. I promised myself I would give her more time to plead her case today. So forgive me. I just okay. All right. No, it's fine.
On to sort of attract Harry. We're learning a lot more about Erika and her psychological profile, and we are going to discuss more of that in depth today. So welcome back to Bride of Charlie.
We have nothing to hide.
Okay, so on background, I don't know how far down various rabbit holes you have gone, but if you are a regular viewer of the show, then you are very familiar with the name Aleister Crowley. If you are not, please, in your spare time, hit Wikipedia, read maybe Hollywood Babylon, Chaos. Look, the short and the thick of it is the elites practice occult sex magic. You just got to accept that that is a circumstance at the top. They've been doing that for a long
Oh, we are jumping right into it today. All right. Let's go.
time. They get together and they have these satanic sex parties where they try to summon various demons. That sounds crazy, I know, but it's real. It's right there in your face if you just look into history a tiny bit. And Aleister Crowley, who was once termed the world's wickedest man, would host these parties all across the world. And he even created his own religion around it, science of Thelema, black magic. There are so many stories out there regarding Aleister Crowley attempting to summon various demons. In France, he tried to summon Pan, I think in Paris. And many times people would end up in the hospital. But probably the one story that ranks supreme is something that happened in 1923 in Sicily with one of his acolytes. Aleister Crowley was sort of grooming a young Oxford student to become his magical heir. He saw this young Oxford student and said, "You've got it. You're amazing. Come down to Sicily and let's try to do some spells together." This was a 23-year-old student, okay? Aleister Crowley thinks he has the it factor. They go down to Sicily and the kid ends up dead. I'm actually going to bring on my producer, Ashley, to explain to you a little further what happened when they were working on an invisibility charm. Take a listen.
Yeah, so basically,
like, like this is a series about Erika Kirk. All right. I'm not even gonna sit here and be like, no, the rich are not up to like weird shit. Like all the rich, I'm sure rich. We know rich people are up to some weird shit. Like just one look at the Epstein files confirms that in every regard. It's not like that's not a secret, but this was about Erika Kirk. Yeah, all this to expose not just one woman, but to expose the wife of her best friend, Charlie Kirk, who was assassinated, the mother of his children. Like, I don't care. Go for it. Get her, girl. Who cares? Fuck it. Why not? It's 2026. It's the big 2-6, everybody. We are doing things differently out here.
Aleister Crowley was convinced that he was able to make himself invisible, and he was trying to bestow that power upon his little magical heir, Raoul Loveday. This was during one of his infamous ceremonies at his abbey in Sicily. But during the experiment, they both got really sick. Aleister survived, he was fine. But the nurse that was helping them said that Raoul became slowly fainter and fainter until he just completely disappeared. And so Aleister buried him in a quote-unquote empty coffin, like there was absolutely nothing in it. And later, Raoul's wife, who was there, she was present for all of this, she blames Aleister Crowley for this. But just a few years later, in 1929, they came out and said, "Oh no, actually, he just died from inflammation of the intestines. Nothing to see here."
So wait. They She said they buried him in an empty coffin, which means there was nothing in there. And they said he disappeared. And then so did he die or did he disappear? Did he die or did he disappear? Because I don't think that's like the discrepancy that they're gonna point out. I think that. Wait. Okay. All right. What?
I'll tell you why this is important, why Aleister Crowley is so significant to the things that are happening today, okay?
Like, maybe he just left. Like, maybe he just left. Did she miss? No, because she said disappeared and she said buried him in an empty coffin. So she would have had to misspeak twice.
Experiment. They both got really sick. Aleister survived. He was fine. But
they both got really sick. Aleister survived. He was fine.
The nurse that was helping them said that Raoul became slowly fainter and fainter until he just completely disappeared.
Not died, disappeared. He became fainter and fainter until he just disappeared. Not died. And then
so Aleister buried him in a quote-unquote empty coffin. Like there was absolutely nothing in it. And later, Raoul's wife, who was there, she was...
And then they buried him in an empty coffin. I don't think that's what she meant to say. She says he became fainter and fainter until he just disappeared. That's what the nurse said. And then they say they buried him in an empty coffin. So there was nothing in there. I imagine it was meant to be like a symbolic sort of he's gone now burial. But couldn't he have just left? Like, doesn't that just imply he left? Without anybody realizing? Because it doesn't sound like they exhumed the coffin at any point to see if the body was there. That's not what she's saying.
So Alistair buried him in a quote-unquote empty coffin, like there was absolutely nothing in it. And later, Raoul's wife, who was there, she was present for all of this, she blames Alistair Crowley for this. But just a few years later, in 1929, they came out and said, oh no, actually, he just died from inflammation of the intestines. Nothing to see here.
So I'll tell you why this...
I am so confused. Like, did this man just leave and they were just like, oh, he died. He got sick and died. And then, okay. Well, all right. Okay, let's just move on. Let's just move on before I lose my mind.
Is important, why Aleister Crowley is so significant to the things that are happening today, okay? What ended up happening was Mussolini, the evil fascist, kicked him out of the country.
I mean, like, I'm sure the nurse wasn't watching him 24/7. I'm sure she had to sleep herself at some point. Or tend to the other guy. Or do something. She was, he was seemingly sick enough that she watched him sort of get sicker and sicker, and then, I mean, I don't know what state he was in, but it implies that he just left. Like it doesn't. I don't know what the other like implication here is. Yeah, I mean, people tend to sleep at night. He could just leave in the middle of the night and nobody would know. Depending on, like, the circumstances. I don't know their living arrangement, but I'm confused about that. I don't really know what that's about. That doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me, but all right.
For being a Satanist. Fortunately for Aleister Crowley, this didn't actually matter because he was friends with the elites all over the world, including, and this is just a historical fact, a woman by the name of Pauline Robinson, who would eventually, after spending time with her friend Aleister Crowley, 8.5 months later, she gives birth to Barbara Bush. Okay? This is just, again, a little over 8.5 months after having...
Wait, that was a plot twist. Whoa. Yeah, I think he just walked away in the middle of the night. I don't know for sure, but the way they describe it, it sounds like, because people don't just disappear. I mean, like, there's no disease that makes you get sick and then you disappear. Like, you don't just turn to dust. And they buried an empty coffin. Like, I think he just left. But anyway, Barbara Bush, okay. This picture is crazy. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Hanging out with Aleister Crowley. Obviously, you know who Barbara Bush is, the mother of George Bush. Now, this is the source of the rumors that Barbara Bush is actually the child of Aleister Crowley. Now, why am I telling you that? Why am I starting this episode speaking about these occult rituals and...
You know what? I see it. I see the resemblance. I'm sure these pictures weren't handpicked to, to highlight the resemblance, but I see it. I see it. Listen, why not? You got me, Candace. I'm in. I'm locked in.
the idea that the elites are practicing occult magic. It's because it's important that as we begin to connect dots throughout this series, that you fully digest, as I told you yesterday, that Operation Paperclip was not about rescuing brilliant Jewish scientists who were being persecuted from Germany. It was about rescuing wealthy occult perverts like Sigmund Freud and his boys, referring to them as scientists, saying that they had scientific breakthroughs so they could go on doing perverted things and go on being the elites. The same families have been in power for a very long time. Everything else is just an illusion, okay? I don't know how some people don't recognize that. Just looking around at who they keep trying to tell us is a genius. How is it always the rich people? Do you guys really think that every offensively wealthy kid who makes his butler do his homework grows up and becomes a tech genius? That's just the story that we keep being told. Jack Parsons, unbelievably wealthy kid who created the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. That's the precursor to NASA's Apollo program. Oh, he was such a genius. He was trying to literally summon demons. He was Aleister Crowley's protege. He was doing the exact same thing.
I don't know what this has to do with Erika Kirk. I guess she'll get there eventually. I assume she has to. She's got to link it up somehow here. I think she just wanted a way to, tie in all of her sort of previous book club reading material.
That Aleister Crowley was doing, throwing elite sex parties, saying we're going to create a moon child, everyone, sex, drugs. Look, Elon Musk seems like a nice guy, but do I believe?
Like, people do crazy things when they have access to a lot of money. Shocker. Like, yeah, when they have a disposable income of significant amounts that can afford them weird shit, they do weird shit. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Listen. Would I be doing this kind of weird shit if I had that much money? No. Like, I would be doing, like, actual fun weird shit, I don't know, like, filling a room with, like, Jell-O or something. I don't know. Something stupid like that. But, like, that's kind of just, like, the human way, I think. Just, like, doing weird shit when you have, like, a disposable income and shit. Like, I don't think it's specifically unique to any type of person. Like, she's kind of trying to make this about, like, Jews and that kind of thing. That my point is, I don't think it's, like, unique to them. Like, you don't have to be, like, a specific type of person to also be into, like, to be shitty, I guess, is what I'm saying.
He's running 17 trillionaire dollar companies at the same time while also having 49 baby mamas. No, I don't accept that. Bill Gates, that one bothers me the most. Oh my God, shocker. He's in the Epstein files. Look at him, people. Look at him. Look at his face. Of course.
Do you really think it yields benefits, though? Like, I don't... Like, okay. Like, let's entertain this idea to its extreme. Like, most rich people are, for a second here, we'll say that the super rich, the rich elite, they are involved in crazy occult, sex shit, like summoning rituals, whatever. Are we really gonna say that, like, this shit works? And it's not just, rich people doing crazy shit that, they really should not be doing, obviously. Like, I'm not saying I'm not endorsing this shit. Especially, like, the actual criminal shit that they do. But, like, my point is, it's money. It's the money. It's the money. That's why they're in power. It's not the rituals. Like, the rituals don't mean anything. Like, those are just kind of like those are like, if anything, that's like the bonding factor. That's like the it's like joining a fraternity, you get the sort of connections, and you get the the leg up in the world from these connections. If anything, it's that. I don't think that these occult rituals are actually influencing their power in any way, other than to allow them to form these connections and these links with other rich elite people. That's what I think is happening here. I don't think it's like, I don't think that the rituals work or anything like that. At worst, it's just like they actually enjoy doing this weird shit, and again, I don't think it has like an actual effect, but yeah, I mean, because why won't the NASA scientists say it's a bunch of bullshit? I mean, again, if we're taking this idea to its extreme and we're saying that, you know, they're all sort of engaging in this shit, and I'm not saying they aren't engaging in weird shit, but if we're, you know, taking this idea to its extreme, again, it's like a fraternity. They don't want to lose they don't want to lose that connection. I mean, they don't want to like, I mean, they can say it's bullshit, but also just like, it's easier to just ignore it. I imagine it's easier to just like not comment on it because it's not really something that most people are thinking about. Like, it's not really something that matters to most people. Like, what are people gonna do either way? Like, why comment on something that people can't do anything about? Like, why bother? Like, there's no like mass realization that's going to happen here that's going to cause people to sort of rise up and take back the, like, you know, like go after these people. Like, that's not going to happen. Obviously, like we've seen how the Epstein files have played out. The consequences are not there. So why even bother? It's just at worst, at most it's about like creating a connection, a fraternity, a bond, and making it so that you can't be the person who, you know, outs the secret because you're also involved, you're also implicated.
In the Epstein files, you really think this guy is just such a genius? He went from computers to pharmaceuticals to poisoning African kids. He's just so genius. Yeah, I'm troubled the most by people who ever bought that man was smart.
Like, again, even then, it's like, I don't, like, I'm sure he had connections. I'm sure he had a lot of connections that got him into the right places, into the right rooms. If it were somebody else with those same connections, it would be a similar story. But it happened to be, you know, Bill Gates.
Poor middle class people know we can never go on to become geniuses. It doesn't work like that. Now I want
you're so close, Candace. You're so close. You're so close. Like, no, that's not it. It's just that middle class people, or, you know, people of just like a lower class in general, do not have the same connections that the wealthy elite class have to put these people in these positions and put these people in the right places and get these people into the right rooms and in front of the right people. Oh my god. If your neighbor John also had those connections, you know, your neighbor John who got like a, I don't know, like a 10 million on the SAT and is like the smartest man on earth, also had those connections, he would be in that position, but he doesn't.
Kind of want everyone to just wake up from this occult spell of thinking that these people are smarter than you. They are not. Natural geniuses, which do exist, like Charlie Kirk, you have to either play ball with the elites, meaning hand over whatever it is that you have built to fulfill our ends. Let us be in control of the message. What you're doing is big. We want in. Or if you say no, you wind up dead. That's how the world works. And the military is responsible for keeping particular families in power. It's pretty much eugenics at the top and social engineering at the bottom. And we have proven over and over again as a society that
Nope, you know what? I'm not even going to touch that one. I'm not even going to touch that one.
we are subject to psychology. Our minds are malleable. They've trained us via marketing to poison ourselves so that we can't have more offspring, aggressive marketing campaigns, propaganda, repeat promises of scientific breakthroughs. Scientific breakthrough. Oh my God, we had
Yeah, I just let that one go. I couldn't. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Like, yeah, like Charlie Kirk. He's a genius. He was a genius. Truly a genius. You know what? Yep. Yep. The genius Charlie Kirk. Why not? Fuck it. We're doing anything. We're doing anything.
no idea it caused cancer. What do you mean she can't get pregnant? We're so shocked. This is what the military does best, okay? Psychological operations. You've seen it in this entire lead up to Erika Kirk. It is part of the reason I believe, I don't know if you thought about this a lot like I have, why did the military choose to have us all watch Charlie's execution? Think about that. They could have just like poisoned his drink or something, done their standard, mess with the brakes and get into a car accident. I don't know. But no.
I love how she's gone from just asking questions to the military decided that we were going to watch Charlie Kirk be assassinated. Like, she's now presenting a theory here. Like, she's presenting theories as to what she thinks occurred. She's no longer being oh, like, these are just, like, questions that I have. So if she plays that card in the future, I just want people to remember. She is so far past that point. She's got her own theories and shit of what she thinks happened. So, okay.
No, they wanted us to watch it. They wanted to make sure that we all watched it and we had an emotional reaction and that they could sort of harness our emotions to get behind Erika, right? Erika, that was where it was supposed to go. You watched it. She's the widow. That's why they just keep saying the thing. She's a grieving widow. She's a grieving widow. Never mind everything that she's doing right now. Never mind the lack of concern that she seems to have for this investigation. Me sitting down with her and her speaking about Charlie and never is emotion coming up. And she's like, yeah, I like to work. But then when I see the first trace of emotion, it's about her mother, who's alive, but Charlie's dead. Charlie's dead. Everyone recognized something was off about that. The way that they are defending her is crazy. I've never seen anything like it. I could do 27,000 series, like I said, about Hillary Clinton. They wouldn't care. They wouldn't care at all. But Erika, my goodness, that you can.
I mean, yeah, because Hillary Clinton's irrelevant. Like, no one's talking about Hillary Clinton. And Hillary Clinton's husband wasn't just assassinated like that. Like, I don't even give a fuck, dude, that much about, like, Erika. But, like, come on, let's be realistic here. Did you watch Secular Talk's vid breaking down all of the lies and official account of his death? Whatever happened to him is not what they said. Yeah, I'm not. I don't know what happened. Like, I didn't. Like, I'm not. I don't personally have like a theory. There definitely been some like weird things, but like I haven't personally seen enough to declare one thing or the other. I would need to see more. I have not seen their video, so I'm not like familiar with it. I've seen obviously some things through Candace and a lot of crazy shit through Candace that, is not necessarily relevant. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. There were some weird things. I also just don't think it's completely impossible that Tyler Robinson did it. I think it's possible we don't have all of the information about that, but I don't think it's impossible. But I also don't think it's impossible that something else happened. Like, I would not be surprised if it came out that there was some other, entity involved or some like strange thing that happened. It wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, I don't know. Weirder things have happened.
There is something there. You cannot touch or speak about it because, well, they cast a spell. What's wrong with you guys?
Yeah, I'll try to remember to take a look at it. I don't watch I haven't seen it. I have not seen it, but yeah, I mean, I think that the FBI definitely beansed it a lot too in terms of like talking about in terms of like handling it initially and just like just like, you know, I don't it was just like it was a bit messy. It was a bit messy. So I'm sure there are things that um would have me looking at it a bit sideways, but I've not been personally convinced one way or the other. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I haven't seen enough to make a definitive comment on it. Um I will say there are things that without knowing his personal capabilities, it's hard for me to judge. It's easy for me to make assumptions about it, but it's like I don't know, maybe he was truly capable of like doing some things. Uh this is a scenario where I would hope that a proper investigation would be done and we would, you know, find the answer to these questions. But with the current FBI that we have, I don't necessarily feel confident about that. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's just I don't know. It's definitely an interesting case. It's an interesting um yeah, I'm sure there's some meat there. Like I'm sure there's definitely some reasoning there. I just I personally haven't seen anything that's necessarily convinced me hard one way or the other. But I have seen a lot from Candace that has that I that I think is irrelevant. But yeah, I'll try and remember to take a look at it for sure.
Well, anyway, let's quickly recap the military connections that we've already established in the Erika Kirk story, right? So we learned that Erika was born at the Good Samaritan Hospital on.
Well, I think it was his grandfather's gun, wasn't it? Um yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to take a look at it. Like I'd have to see how how like impossible are we talking, you know? Like is it like I don't know, like 5 seconds, 10 seconds? Like how like it's like a minute? Like how like out of the realm of like possibility um like how fast am I supposed to believe that he did it, you know? Uh that kind of thing. So because if it's like a shorter period of time, it's like maybe it's possible, but if it is like a longer period of time, then it's like okay, I could see how um that could be like not something that he would be able to do in that time. So I don't know. I have to look at it. Yeah, I think it was his grandfather's gun because I remember I remember some of like the text messages they released. He was talking about how he was worried about his like dad asking for the gun back to like because like he was saying like he was saying like his dad was asking for the gun because his grandfather was asking for it. So I think it was his like grandfather's gun, but or it was a gift from his grandfather. I don't remember exactly. I think it was a gift for his. I think it was originally his grandfather's gun, then it was like gifted to him, and his dad was asking to see a picture. It was like a whole thing. I don't remember exactly how it was, but um, I don't know. Like the shot itself, it's like I don't know. I think it's probably possible. Like you could probably, um, yeah. I would have to see like how impossible because like you know if it's something that can be done in like a minute, but it took him like if it's something that like normally takes like a minute, but you know, he did it in like 50 seconds, then that's a little bit like like closer, you know, than like if you did it in like 30 seconds and it's supposed to take a minute. So I would have to see like the sort of timeline here and that kind of thing before I made a actual judgment call on it. But I don't know. I think it's interesting. My thing is for me personally, my thing is he's young. And I don't know how difficult of a shot it was. I don't know how difficult like all of this was to do. I wonder how much experience he has with the gun. So like that's like where my questions sort of arise. Like did he just get lucky or was this something that was like, you know, like within the realm of his abilities, you know? Like I don't know. So that's kind of where my questions definitely come from a little bit, like that kind of thing. And like, was this just kind of he got lucky and managed to pull off a shot that normally he wouldn't be able to make? Or was this something that he had actually taken enough time to practice and had enough skill with this weapon to be able to pull off? Like, I don't know. So, I definitely think that there are questions worth asking. And I would hope that we would have a proper investigation that would answer these questions. Maybe he was John Wick. No, definitely. Yeah, but I mean, I would hope we would have a proper investigation that would answer these questions, but again, Kash Patel's in charge of our FBI, so ew.
Either the 20th or the 22nd of November of 1988. It depends on who's telling the story. Is it Erika? Is it Lori? Is it Erika's dad? A hospital graciously gifted by the Marine Corps after they were kind of caught experimenting on human brains, because who among us hasn't been caught experimenting on human brains unethically? Youth, I guess, is wasted on the young. You should also know that Far, Carl Kenneth, was himself a military man. He served in the Army Corps of Engineers. And I have to tell you, having looked through so many people's stories, I do believe that the Army Corps of Engineers is not always engineering, planes. I think sometimes they're just engineering society. Social engineering is what they're into. I'm not speaking about Carl Kenneth specifically, but that's very obviously one element of our military. Now, Erika's father and her mother, Lori and Kent Francevay, as we learned, were married in Marblehead, Massachusetts. We still cannot find a single shred of proof regarding that union having taken place, but we do acknowledge that it is the birthplace of the Marine Corps aviation. Although whether that marriage took place in the 80s, whether that marriage took place in the 90s, or whether that marriage took place at all, we will see if we can discover throughout this series. But today, I would like to discuss with you guys Kent Francevay's first wife. This woman is very important. The woman that he married before Lori, in my opinion, is one of the more compelling characters in this story because she's very powerful, she's very connected, and she has quite a peculiar background. And ultimately, her life, despite the fact that she married Kent first, is going to plug right into Erika's life. This woman's name she died 2 years ago, Dr. Jerry Francevay. Look at Dr. Jerry Francevay. I'm going to tell you about Dr. Jerry Francevay. She keeps her name. She also dies in Arizona. Everybody's in Arizona. You would have no idea that these people were exes, and they seem to get along quite well. They keep doing business together. Well, Dr. Jerry was born Jerry Pitts in 1943. She was born into a very strict Mormon household. Yeah, fun fact, Erika's father was at first married to a Mormon before he got together with Lori. Jerry's Mormon family is from Arizona, a very powerful Mormon family, but she herself was raised in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Yeah, but now she's talking about the previous wife. Because this is somehow important to Erika's life. Listen. She's got me. I'm on board. I'm on board for one reason alone. Anything to cast doubt on the Mormons. I am a Mormon hater. I'm kidding. I'm half kidding. I think Mormons get away with too much shit, though. We gotta reel them in a little bit.
Jerry also happens to be a victim of child rape. Okay? Now, she's going to tell the story in a different way. She's almost going to, when she retells the story,
Damn, you just airing her business like that, bro. God damn. Fuck.
Make it sound like a love story. It's weird to me. I don't think a person should be trying to normalize child rape, or if they do, they probably shouldn't hold any future positions of power over children. Wouldn't you agree? Well, I'll let Jerry tell it. Let's read a bit of this article from 1981 where she recounts her own history. It tells us that at 14, she ran away from a strict Mormon upbringing in Indianapolis to get married. She says, quote, I was a straight A student and was about to get the worst mark of my life, a C in algebra, Francois said in an interview. I couldn't face my parents. I loved my boyfriend. We saw an opportunity and we took it. I lied about my age. I altered my birth certificate. I then smeared it with Clarisol to make it look older. 6 months later, we asked to come home and we were welcomed. She was a mother before her peers graduated high school and divorced before she was old enough to vote. Okay, so just to recap, she gets married at 14. Not mentioned is the fact that she's already pregnant. Okay, she then runs away for 6 months to the other side of Indianapolis, uses Clarisol so she can get married at 14, has this little shotgun wedding. She gets married to a guy named Carl Pangerl. Carl Pangerl, spelled Pangerl, is 5 or 6 years her senior. I can't really tell. Look, she's already telling us she's forging docs, so he could be 5 or 6 years her senior. And just so you know, he's going to go on to become a bishop in the Mormon church because marrying a child is apparently not a disqualifier. In fact, she tells us her parents welcome.
Okay, like, yeah, I mean, this is a, like, like, yeah, this is an issue in the Mormon church, and this is why I say Mormons get away with too much, and they have been for years, but, like, what does this have to do with Erika? Like, Mormons still pull some shady shit when it comes to marriages, okay? Like, especially when it comes to, like, setting women up with men who are older than them and that kind of thing. Like, that's still a fairly common thing in the Mormon church, in Mormon communities. Like, that's, you know, when I say I don't fuck with Mormons, that's a big reason why. It's just a very traumatic place for a lot of people. Utah is they get away with a lot of shit in Utah, okay? So like I don't think like I don't even necessarily disagree with her in her assessment of the situation. Yeah, she ran away from a Mormon upbringing, but the man she was with was also Mormon. Like they were. She got married to a man. She got married to her boyfriend, who was also Mormon, who goes on to become a Mormon, like a bishop or whatever in the Mormon church. That's what like Candace said that Candace says that he goes on to become a bishop or whatever. He was older than her, which again, this is not like an uncommon story in the Mormon church. Like this is a common story in the like this is not like this is not out of the realm of like possibility. Like I don't doubt this story. But so she married a guy. She married her boyfriend who was also Mormon, I presume, because he goes on to become a Mormon bishop. And usually if you're Mormon, you're not like allowed to date someone who isn't Mormon. That's usually one of the rules. If you're in like a very strict Mormon upbringing, obviously, if you're in a less strict one, you know, there's different, you know, expectations, but that does tend to be one of the things, especially in like a more orthodox kind of place. So, yeah, I don't doubt this story. I just think that the way she is presenting it is you know, it's certainly interesting. Like the issue is the Mormon church.
Them back into the home. Okay, I guess. Let's keep going. They divorce, and then Jerry somehow becomes a bookkeeper. She gets into accounting. So it doesn't matter that she got knocked up at 14, that she's married and divorced before she turns 18. She's still somehow able to just get a good job and begin a career. She becomes a bookie. She learns clerical machines. And I would love to know who exactly it was that she was bookkeeping for, because I think it probably was somebody pretty important, because Jerry then suddenly marries some top brass in the military. Her second husband, and we're not going to get, just going to give the facts about him. He's a man named Kenneth Himsel, and he's a captain in the Indiana National Guard. He goes on to become a major general. They get hitched in 1965. Jerry's now got connections. She gets a bachelor's degree in psychology. That same year, psychology is what she is about to become an expert. That's going to be her career path She just gets psychology, particularly the psychology of children. It's now 1970. She's 27, and she becomes a social worker in Indiana. And instantly in my mind, and I get it, I'm a conspiracy theorist, but I'm pretty obsessed with MK Ultra. I don't love anybody that was a psychologist in the 70s, especially one that's connected to the military, especially someone that's connected to the military in Indiana who happens to be a victim of child rape herself. I'm not loving it. A lot of red flags here. It's immediately suspicious because MK Ultra was in full swing. And if you did not know, Indiana was a major hub for MK Ultra action. The universities in Indiana were factually involved in experimentation. In fact, Indiana was actually the place that the government manufactured the LSD to drug people with for their experiments. You can thank Indiana for the hippies movement. Thank you, Indiana. Anyway, suddenly Jerry's big time, okay? In 1971, she heads out to Chicago and she begins working for Quaker Oats for 3 years. Now, if you're like me, I was like, well, at least Quaker Oats, we know, hired a psychologist for what? She says she was helping them with marketing. What kind of marketing? Okay, the official story, I don't know, help us sell these oats. And if you're like me, I was literally thinking in my head, well, at least Quaker Oats was never involved in any weird MK Ultra type experimentation or anything. Except for that one time when Quaker Oats was actually going into mental institutions and force feeding a bunch of radioactive oats to little boys. Look at this article. This is our government. A spoonful of sugar helps the radioactive oatmeal go down. Yes, Quaker Oats was conducting experiments on unsuspecting young boys. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Anyway, the Atomic Energy Commission teamed up with Quaker Oats to experiment on children. Now, how long did that go on for? Did Jerry Francois herself play a part in any?
Last episode, Erika will be revealed as an interdimensional entity. Oh, she just comes into the studio and consumes Candace alive. And then she looks at the camera with that long stare of hers. Oh god. Oh god. I can't wait.
Experimentation on children with Quaker Oats. Was this even related to MK Ultra? We're never going to know any of those answers. Put it out of your minds, because in 1975, the military orders the destruction of all of the files related to MK Ultra. So what we have today, which is already terrifying, is just a skeleton of just how far-reaching that CIA program was. But I can say confidently, I've always believed that MK Ultra was tasked with creating Manchurian candidates. I believe a lot of people in politics today went through weird psychology programs. It's my personal opinion. This is my podcast. I am entitled to it. Jerry meets and marries Kent Francois, jumping back into her timeline. Okay, she meets and marries Kent Francois while she's working for Quaker Oats. And she's a few years older than him. She continues to climb the ranks as a psychologist, gets a master's degree, a doctorate. Now she's going by Dr. Francois. And her and Kent Francois moved down to Paradise Valley, Arizona, before deciding to divorce. Okay? We're supposed to believe that, okay, well, they're divorced. We're never going to see each other again. Maybe. Should know that once she becomes a doctor, she has arrived. She is now going to work for the biggest and most powerful families in the world. Okay? This is where it's going to get really fun, because she begins working for, not even just one of the most powerful families in the world, but it also happens to be a French family. Ah, France. I could never do a series where you're not there, France. The DuPonts. I kid you not. She starts working for the DuPont family, becoming the director of employee relations for DuPont, because she's so good at psychology. She gets into organizational psychology. She is tasked effectively, I would say, with finding the psychopaths that should head up the corporations that are run by the elite bloodlines. She goes into partnership working for the DuPonts. Now, in case you forgot, they're also just mass poisoning people. That's what they've done for a very long time. If the lawsuits are telling us anything about, they have innumerable lawsuits related to them poisoning the population, giving people cancer. Jerry's apparently a good fit. In 1983, DuPont completes the largest merger in corporate history with Conoco Oil, and they're able to do this thanks to Reagan and George Bush being in office, deregulating things, making it easier for private corporations to go in and do bigger deals. Of course, we know DuPont then moves those headquarters to Wilmington.
Yeah, I don't. Can we move this along a little bit, Candace?
In Delaware. I just loved looking into her in Delaware, and I instantly.
That's great. I just don't care. Like this, there's still like a whole 7 minutes on this one person who, as far as I can tell, so far never met Erika, but I'm sure she must have at some point, right? Gender studies? Well, okay. Okay, now we got the ad.
That helps develop the Tesseract way. Tesseract Schools, the school that Erika went to that is exceedingly problematic. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that after a quick break. All right, you guys, you may have seen the helping them to develop psychological methods with students. Yeah, you know where this is going. Dr. Jerry Franzfey is going to be the person that helps develop the Tesseract way. Tesseract Schools.
Okay.
The people controlling the information we see fathers. Its knowledge base grows daily, fueled by exclusive digital work. Candace. Tesseract School in general. We've already informed you, Erika will be there from 1993 to 1999. We showed you this photo of her in the first grade.
Yeah, but yeah.
We also then showed you this photo of Erika in the second grade. Erika, by the way, I should note, because we got some comments about this, she has spoken about how her mother chopped her hair off. So that is a known thing because she didn't know how to do her hair. I'm actually inclined to think that it was because her dad was taking care of her at that time. I'm not positive about that, but that would definitely make sense because these are going to be the years that she has a stay-at-home dad. Third grade photo we have here with Erika in this school. This is, without question, a school that is being designed by the elites. It is backed by the Bushes and the Waltons. They, among other elite families, they are, again, kind of getting into government money in a way, pioneering charter schools. You give us the tax dollars and we'll show you a better way to use them. Government schools are failing, right? We're always in that right versus left false dialectic, but the same families are benefiting from it. We're going to use this government money. Okay. Now, of course, you're going to do all that. You need to have your elite psychologists on board to help develop these children, how you're going to test them, how this is going to be a different model. And that is why it makes perfect sense that Dr. Jerry Franzfey, who conveniently is her entire Mormon family is from Arizona. Her and Kent had a home together in Arizona and in Paradise Valley, which is exactly where this particular school was. This was the first school, and this one is going to fail very quickly. But yeah, of course, she's going to help them draft those psychological models that, at the school that Erika attends. Now, Erika might not know this woman. She may not have met her. I would definitely be shocked if she didn't know about Dr. Franzfey. Is she just doing the models? Did she sit down with the kids? I don't know. But this is going to be how they handle these students is going to be described as the Tesseract way. Now, I want you to know who else is involved with this school. Because if you think Dr. Jerry Franzfey is problematic, well, I told you already that John T. Goley is the CEO of Tesseract. He does that announcement about it with Jeb Bush, who is, supporting charter schools. Well, I told you John T. Goley, he was working with Roundup Monsanto on their launch. So I guess him and Jerry's with DuPont. That's a natural alliance, poisoning the population and getting away with it. But there's some other key players here. I really want you to know about this guy named Phil Bliss, who joins the board of Tesseract. Okay, Phil Bliss here, over there in the corner. Phil Bliss, the board member, was involved with Stanford University in the 70s. I'm not going to say, yes, I am MK Ultra. Okay, he was known widely during that time as a drug counselor. Okay, everyone's taking LSD. You got the drug counselors, and he is also working with Stanford's Hospital for Addiction Research, right? He then co-founds a school in Palo Alto, which is called Mid-Peninsula High School. He installs himself as the principal of that school, and that school then has a shooting. In 1996, it turns out that the student that committed the shooting had been working with Philip Bliss through his depression. Okay, fantastic candidate. I don't know. I got a lot of questions about these psychologists. As I said in the first episode, when you look at all these things that are happening, school shootings, behind everything is a psychologist and a prescription counter, truly. He also, on that same campus, by the way, he was on the board of a French American school, so he also has French connections, but that's just kind of implied now in my life. The person who is going to be running the
Shocker. Mentally ill people do things that are perceived as mentally ill, like shooting up schools. Like, what? She's like, there's always like a psychiatrist and a prescription. Like, oh, okay, yeah, people who tend to see psychiatrists and tend to go on medication for their mental illness may not be successful in that treatment and may then go and do something that is, not good, like shooting up a school. That is, yes. That's not a surprising trend to find, I would think. All right.
school as the executive director is a woman named Jill Kessler. She's the executive director, and she says that she moved to Arizona for her husband's job, and he is a pediatric.
God, she's got a whole chart, dude. Look at this shit. She's got visual aids and everything, bro. I gotta level up. Candace is outdoing me.
Behavioral pediatrician, whatever that means. He specializes in children and behavior, essentially. So she is well suited. Above her is Susan B. Silverstein, who is the vice president of development. I have a very strong indication of who Susan B. Silverstein is, but unless I'm certain, I'm not going to show the face and tell you the backgrounds. But yeah, we're just going to pause on that. But we had a strong suspicion about who Susan B. Silverstein is. Like I said, they have done a very good job of wiping anything and everything about this particular Tesseract in Paradise Valley, which eventually shuttered in 2000 from history. I mean, even books. They're like, this person wrote a book on the collapse of it. The book is just gone. You cannot find this book anywhere. I told you already that John Walton, obviously the son of Walmart founder Sam Walton, is a major investor, and he also sits on the board. And my viewpoint is that it is fair to suggest that the school in and of itself was a psychological experiment, and the school completely falls apart. There's accusations of financial impropriety, as well as the method which they used to track the success of the students. People said this is a complete scam. The way that you're doing the studies doesn't have any control. There's no control. And that would track with anything Dr. Jerry Franzfey had her hands in, because she's a whole fraud. You can't just have your mommy doing experiments and be like, come on, man, you can't do this. You just can't do that. I also want to say this, and this I'm going to say without any names here, but the family that I received these yearbooks from, they had a child, multiple children actually at the school, and obviously the child is an adult today and has always maintained that he was sexually abused by very specific people at the top of this school. Obviously, I'm not going to name those people. I know evidence of this, but I was very compelled to listen and also to believe that individual, because, well, child abuse and psychology go hand in hand. So even if I didn't have his account, I would not have doubted it. Dr. Jerry Franzfey herself, by the way, was friends and colleagues with Dr. John Money, the notorious psychologist who was one of the fathers of transgenderism, who then it turned out notoriously abused children. If you guys don't know who I'm speaking about, as soon as Jerry Franzfey opens the gender clinic at Radford University, or heads up the gender research center at Radford University, she brings over
maybe. God, she had to bring it back to trans people, didn't she? She couldn't help herself. Oh my God, Candace, you're killing me.
Dr. John Money. This is who Dr. John Money is. Take a listen.
John Money, he's one of the greatest villains in history, and he is the father of gender ideology. And he became that by abusing two twin boys, one of whom had his genitalia basically destroyed in a botched circumcision. Money believed that sexuality was fluid, convinced these parents that he could raise that boy as a girl and it would be fine. Long story short, that didn't work out. That boy was every bit a boy. When he was told what had been done to him, it destroyed him, and he eventually ended up committing suicide. Money was a hero because he told the world that his experiment succeeded. And it wasn't until the young man comes out and tells his story that people realize not only did it not succeed, but he abused those boys horribly. People needed to know where this ideology came from. That this guy who abused these boys made them perform sex acts on each other.
Yeah, just a colleague of Dr. Jerry Franzfey. I am telling you, all of the psychologists are...
I know nothing about this story. I cannot comment on it. However, the idea that, if I'm to take this at face value, this does nothing to disprove gender ideology, because this person was forced to transition. It was not something that they wanted to do, which is the whole fucking point. Like, they did not seek this out themselves, which is, like, if anything, that you've kind of just proven gender ideology in a way, because you've proven that someone can't be forced to live in a, like, gender that they do not wish to. Like, that does cause them to kill themselves at some point. So, all right.
Are perverted. They are, I mean, I'm not saying like every psychologist that you know is perverted, but these people with the power and that are within close proximity to the elites, any incursion into history, any incursion into what happened and what went wrong into America begins and ends with these scientists, quote unquote scientists, that we rescued from Germany. And a lot of what we know and heard about World War II obviously is a lie, and many things have been covered up. The fact that we still celebrate these people in school, like Sigmund Freud, is your biggest clue that something is wrong. Something is very wrong and rotten at the top. I want to add this. Across the board, everyone that I have spoken to says that Lori, Erika's mother, is exceedingly problematic. Exceedingly problematic. They acknowledge Erika lies about a lot of details, and obviously on the basis of just the divorce documents that we went through yesterday, I can see that Lori might do some things that would not be described as honest. Okay, I don't think she is likely an honest dealer. But what people have said to me is she is the person, has always been the person in Erika's ear. Like, she's this type A person that tells her who to go after in each and every room. She knows who those people are.
Yeah, they're saying he's the father of gender ideology because he did an experiment. Or, again, I know nothing about this story, so I have no idea if these are like the facts or not. But they're saying that he did an experiment on like a set of like twin boys, and one of them had, I guess, something happen to their genitalia, and then they said that they would raise this one as a girl. My point, and then they made a point of pointing out that that was disastrous for this person, to the point where they went on to end their life. My point was just that, like, they're doing this they're setting this up to be like trans people are bad, to say like gender ideology is a bad thing, transitioning is a bad thing, you can't transition. Like, that's the point of telling this story. My point is that you're forcing someone to live as a gender that they did not wish to do. Like, that's not something that they sought out to do, that's something that you made them do. And when you make someone do that, it does cause them distress. Like, when you make someone who does want to transition not like transition, when you don't allow them to transition, it does cause them distress. Like, that was my point. Like, my point is, no one should be forced to live as a gender that, like, they don't want to. Like, you should be allowed to transition or not transition if that is what you want to do. But the reason that they tell this story is to make it out like, the reason that they're presenting, like, I can't comment on this. Like, I mean, if that is what he did, like, if he did do this without consent and that whole thing, then obviously there is a ethical comment. There's like ethical, like, there's an ethical conversation to be had here about like the ethics of the experiment, the ethics of like the medical sort of practices. But they're setting this up to be like trans people are bad, like transitioning is bad. And they're setting it up as the guy who is the father of gender ideology was a predator who did these awful things to children, which he may have, I don't know. Like, I can't comment. So yeah, most of her viewers do think that it's which is unfortunate. but yeah, my point is, if anything, this just kind of proves that you shouldn't force someone to live in a gender that they don't wish to. Like, if anything, this proves that yes, that is distressing for somebody. That is very difficult. Yeah, no, she is saying it to make Erika look bad by proxy. I just really hate the obvious transphobia here. It's very irritating to me.
who Erika should instantly transform into, what she has to say. I mean, one of her exes was very clear. He said to me, I was warned by another person in beauty pageant world that girl will do anything to get to the top, and her mother will do anything to help her get to the top. Her mother herself, Lori, was a model, actually, at one point. So that hunger for Erika to get to the top, there is a connection just based on discussions I've had with multiple people to her mother. And I know that's an untouchable subject because there's always this, well, she's sick now. You can't talk about her mother at all. But to get into the Erika story, you have to know who Lori Franzfey is, and you have to know who this cast of character is around her. And Erika is, without question, a climber. Okay, she is also, without question, willing to lie to make her mother look better. I mean, to say I grew up with a single mother is not true. So why is she saying it? Well, people suspect probably Lori is the person in her ear getting her to say that because it makes Lori look good. She wanted Erika to be famous, but let's not remove Erika from this. Erika desperately wanted to be famous. No one can deny that. Tomorrow, when we now begin in earnest to go through Erika's life, you will see she's never dated a normal guy. She's never dated a guy with a 9-to-5 job. And that's what Elizabeth Lane was hitting at when she was speaking about going through her exes. You can see like she was going to be with somebody. She was, okay, you're going to the NFL, you're going to the MLB, we can be on the Amazing Race together. You will see very clearly she is not dating a regular guy ever, okay? Her goal was to make it. And I suffice to say that Elizabeth Lane was very much on the money when she suggested that she would have done anything to be famous. And like I said, you simply will not be able to deny that when you see the stuff that we have uncovered about her and the missing years, I'll say plural, of Erika's life. Very weird. Where was Erika? She even admits she's missing. There's so much there. Anyway, we'll take a brief break before I just show you a clip of Erika just lying casually. All right, you guys, let's talk about something most of us have never even heard of, but probably should have. It's called C15, a powerful essential fatty acid that research order. You know, easily the most important relationship, and again, I don't want to get ahead of myself, so we're going to get into this tomorrow, but the most important relationship that Erika had at Turning Point USA is Tyler Boyer. You will recall that when I sat down with her, and I want to let you know that ahead of today's episode and yesterday, one of the questions that we keep asking that we can't get an answer is, how does Erika Kirk know Tyler Boyer? She couldn't recall that in person. We can't get an answer. That seems to be something that she doesn't want to answer, right? But Tyler's a very significant person because he introduced her to Charlie. He set that up, right? Not a good guy, Tyler Boyer. And there was a rumor, which I will tell you what Turning Point's response was, but and it was stronger than a rumor. It was somebody very much in Charlie's life who said, had reached out to me and said that Charlie told this individual that he was establishing Doge because $10 million was missing. Okay. Heard that. I went to Justin Strife when there was communication between us two, the COO, and I specifically asked about that. I said, I heard this, and this person definitely knows Charlie and knows Erika. And, is there any truth to this? They said, no, that's not true. Well, fast forward to today, and they've fired a lot of people, and, a lot of people are speaking. And somebody who was within Turning Point USA confirmed to me that money was indeed missing out of Turning Point USA. I can back that up 100%, which is why I'm saying it publicly, that there were millions missing out of Turning Point USA. And they were wondering where that money was going. And they specifically said that the money was missing out of Turning Point Action.
Well, let's see the evidence, Candace. Like, if you can back it up, back it up. He was a gay Jewish German, not a Nazi. Yeah, I mean, like, I figured there was very little truth in what Candace was saying. Again, that's why I said I did not have the full information to comment on it. I have seen that story, like before in like various different forms on the internet. I just have not taken the time to actually look into it enough to get the full understanding of it. So yeah, it is very much meant to be just like a guilt by association, meant to make Erika look bad, and it's meant to serve a wider purpose of just feeding into this transphobic narrative, because that is something Candace does. Like, her whole beef with Brigitte Macron is that she's trans, and everything is built on that. So it's just like Candace will act like she's not homophobic, she's not transphobic, but she is. She absolutely is.
Which is headed up by Tyler Boyer. The reason why I'm bringing that up and the reason why it's coming to my mind is because Tyler Boyer has a relationship with Lori. And Lori was put on the board of what's that company, whatever it's called, that collects data and nobody really kind of knows what it does. Was it like AZ Tech or something like that? And I remember when I was sitting with Erika, she kind of brought this up and she's like, a lot of people want to know why my mother was put on that board, but it was just because we needed a familiar name. That's what she said. Lori was put on the board because they needed a familiar name. I guess there's just not enough billionaires that donate to Turning Point USA for them to have put someone other than Lori, who we are told is very sick, by the way, and is very sick. But they put her on the board of that company. It makes me wonder if that is true, and also why Justin Strife has a different version of events than somebody else at the company regarding whether or not money was missing. There's a lot there that I feel needs to come out. I do not believe for a single second their version of events that Charlie established Doge 7 days before he died because he just wanted to feel like Elon Musk and use an expression. I don't buy that for even 1 second. So I do want to say that. And there is something casual about the way that Erika lies and how she lies about her background, how she lies about whether or not she's had boyfriends, didn't date for 5 years. That's not true. It's almost like she glitches and she doesn't remember. And there's an element of
He didn't even live in the US. That's so funny. Yeah. That sounds about right. Like I don't put much stock in what Candace says. I really don't. Unless she backs it up with receipts, with like actual physical receipts, which she does sometimes. Like sometimes she'll have text messages, sometimes she'll have whatever. I kind of disregard it. I kind of just let it go in one ear and out the other. I just, unless she has a receipt to back it up, I assume it is nonsense.
that to me feels like information is being downloaded, like she's remembering things and can't quite remember it. And I'm going to show you this clip because tomorrow we're obviously going to get into her pageant days and how she meets Tyler Boyer and the connections in Romania. But I do want to show you this clip of her just kind of lying very casually about how she got into the pageant world. This is her discussing that back in 2020. Take a listen.
Was it after that? That's when you started pageants? Or when did that come about?
So the pageant world to me is something that it was an interesting season of life. It was nothing that I was ever groomed for. It was nothing that was ever on my radar. I wanted to play professional basketball.
Tomboy.
That was my thing ever since I was 5. Like that was I wanted to play, and that was all I wanted to do. I was a gym rat, for lack of a better term. And I remember getting something in the mail when I had come home from school one summer, and it was like, hey, you should compete at Miss Arizona USA. Someone
Doge, like the Department of Government Efficiency, Doge. That was Elon Musk's thing. There's like the Doge meme that's been around for years. And then supposedly Charlie Kirk was trying to make his own Doge at Turning Point USA, inspired by Elon Musk, but no, it was Elon Musk's thing. There is like another department that basically does the exact same thing that has been around for years, but I don't know the exact name of it. There is like a similar department that they just kind of pretend it didn't exist.
Nominated you, and I was like, I don't know who would nominate me for that, but okay. So I shared it with my mom, and I was reviewing all the different things that you have to go through, and I thought to myself, if I were to ever win this, the most important thing out of it would be to be able to make a difference with the title. I don't care about the photo shoots. I just want to be able to overbook myself, being able to get involved with the local communities, with the local organizations that are actually making a difference. So the pageant world for me was something that was not a form of narcissism. It was more along the terms of being a steward for my state, especially as it hit our 100th year celebration.
Yeah, that's not right. That's not true. Erika has been involved in pageants from the very beginning. Her mother is definitely the person who pushed that. I actually do believe that Erika loves basketball. There's no question she plays basketball. But this idea that she didn't want it is just not true. It's so objectively not true. Erika, without question, and anybody who's being objective and honest and looking at her history of the people that she dated and the people that she wanted to be in close proximity to, can guarantee to you that this girl wanted to be famous, like very badly wanted to be famous one way or the other. Don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Obviously, we unpacked a lot, but I just wanted to introduce you to Dr. Jerry Fronte and that Tesseract School. And tomorrow we're going to really jump into Erika's pageant years and when she kind of, I would say, hits the map. I'm going to answer some of your comments when we come back after a short.
Yeah, that was also, I mean, that was also part of it. Like, that was part of the sort of like in joke, the in like meme, the reason that they, oh, I'm so bad. I got to get better at like checking. I feel bad. I had someone on my Twitch chat that I like completely ignored. I feel bad. I gotta get better at checking my Twitch chat, bro. But that was part of the the whole thing. Like that was part of the joke, was that they had like it was like a play on like the Dogecoin and the Doge meme, because Elon likes to meme and that kind of thing. And it was also the Department of Government Efficiency, like that. It was part of the whole joke. It's stupid, but that was part of it. She's gonna get into comments here in a second.
All right, you guys, between groceries,
yeah, okay. She's gonna get into comments. I am going to say we're gonna end this here. I am not gonna do another episode because it is late and I don't want to start one just to like not finish it tonight. So I will say I'm gonna wrap this up here. No, you're fine. I need to pay more attention. I didn't open Chatterino tonight, so that's my bad. I normally have Chatterino open as well and check it occasionally, but I was using my iPad. I always do that. This is not the first time this has happened. I feel bad. I feel bad for Twitch chat. But I am gonna wrap this up for tonight. It's been a chill time. I don't want to, because I don't want to start this other episode just to like not get into it. But I will probably be back at some point this week. I assume this is going to be a pretty busy week. I will probably be back before Friday. I should have a little bit more free time this week. But if I'm not back, then I will be back Friday. Yeah, she's just gonna get into comments here. Oh no, let's take a look at the comments. We'll see what kind of a couple
promo code
comments.
Candace.
Just like one.
Okay, the comments yesterday were just exceptional. I just want to shout out all of you guys in the comment section. Amazing, so funny. We were laughing so hard. Just going to read a few of my favorite ones. Okay, the top comment was, had to hide in the washroom at the Daily... Oh, I'm sorry, you're going to that one first, but I'm going to finish this Daily Wire one. Had to hide in the washroom at the Daily Wire to watch this with the other 238,000 likes.
What the hell? Is that like a Daily Wire employee just watching Candace's show? Okay. Erika's going to wish she stayed far away from becoming CEO. I'm willing to bet Erika is regretting becoming CEO at this point. If she had known that it was going to be this much of a catastrophe, I do think that she she may have made a different decision. Oh boy. The comments are always so crazy, dude. I skipped my class at Tesseract School to watch this. Come on, the moment they did a funeral for Charlie with fireworks. That wasn't a funeral, that was a celebration for Erika to be CEO. I'm 72 and you can't believe how fast I can run in getting to a new episode. I think I just set a new personal best in the 20-yard dash to my iPad. Oh my god. Someone take the iPad away from Grandma. Oh my god. I'm 67 and I feel like I've been living in a matrix my whole life. Candace is bricking your grandparents' brains, bro. Yeah, 238K audience is wild. Oh my god, Candace is bricking your grandparents' brains. I'm 66 and I was running behind you. We spent our lives living in a blue dream, waking up to the realization it was all manufactured. I don't know. I don't think it was her live audience. I'd be surprised if that was her live audience, but I don't know. Same age as you and have a clear view on the world now. Like I can't like I'm not gonna sit here and be like your worldview doesn't change as you get older, you know, you don't learn things, you know, you become less naive to the ways of the world, etc. But imagine getting to like your 70s and you start watching Candace Owens and everything that she says is just like you're just like, yes, that is real. That is fact. I'm 71 and I was beside myself for the little over a week she was gone. Oh my god. I don't think these are bots. Bots tend to type a certain way. Oh my god. No, like I'm 71 and I was beside myself for the little over a week she was gone. I found myself revisiting older videos just to feel like I was still being informed or of how corrupt our government is. Bots also don't tend to be like this specific. I can't wait for the truth to come out on TPUSA. We all know they are far from squeaky clean. I just want the truth and people to have to face their consequences who were involved. Oh boy. Like there are definitely a lot of bots online. I don't think these are bots. I'm 72 also, and these eyes are a lot more wide open due to Candace and her small team. Thank you, Candace. Yeah, I think that her live streams are very likely botted. Like I wouldn't put that past her. I don't know how many of these comments are bots. Like some of them, I'm sure. Some of them are probably just like jokes. But some of them but these comments in here talking about specifically like I'm 72 and blah blah blah, like I don't think these are bots. Oh man. I'm 73 in Australia and like you I kept going through looking at all my favorite podcasters' content. These two are my absolute faves, although I love them all. They all have another slant piece of information to think about. I found out about the Matrix towards the end of 2019. Yeah, I don't know if I don't know about the live chat. I imagine that some of them are there's a fair amount of bots in her live chat and like in her live streams. And there does seem to be quite a few old people. Oh man. So now that oh my god, this is insane. Okay, I gotta go. I can't keep reading these. Oh boy, Candace, you know what? I'd rather her brick the brains of the elderly than of the youth. So there's that. All right, I am gonna slip out of here now. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you, and please take care of yourself. I will see you during the week sometime. And yeah, that's really all I have for you. Check out my links down below. I've got some various different things, some Sudan donation links, my personal links, that kind of thing. And other than that, I got nothing. So yeah, have a good week, and I will see you all later. Goodbye.